Hey, everybody. So excited to see you all. Just waiting for it to load. Hey, everybody. Okay, there we go. Just waiting for it to load. Just going to play this as a watch party. Hey, everybody watching can share. Oh, thank you all for being patient with me. Going to and back onto Zoom. All right, awesome. Thank you all for being patient as we get all the technology up and rolling. And I'm really super excited to really connect with you today with Dr. and Sveta Silverman. And Dr. Silverman, just to get started, is not a neurologist. And so just to really make that clear, but she is an incredible woman who has done her homework and her research in health and to really understand different dynamics. And so I had some questions I wanted to ask her today, and I thought, what not a better way that maybe some of you had questions too, that maybe she could help you and would be beneficial to share. So as I ask them to her, I'm going to do it live, and we're going to be able to share that with you. So over the last, so hey, Sveta, thank you for joining us. And
hi, guys.
I'm grateful.
Hi, Amanda.
Hey, so if you don't know or you don't know, I was diagnosed with multiple sclerosis in 2006. So it's been almost 14 years. And during these last 13 and a half-ish years, I have looked high and low and tried so many different things to assist my health. And I would either do these herbs or those herbs or this changing my eating, or then I would try something else. Like I went from 230 plus pounds down to less than 120. So I was size 18, I think, to size 0. So I did that in 2 years. And so I did the eating change, and I've done so many things, and it would work for a little bit, and then I'd be like, okay, I gotta try something else. And I would change it completely. And then about 4.5, 5 years ago, I was like, oh, maybe it's my thinking I gotta change. But I never did them at the same time. I did one or the other. And so I just really wanted to ask Sveta today, what is the kind of the recipe for health and healing? And we're gonna break this into different segments so that it's not all at once. But it would be really awesome for her to be able to, and to ask you, Sveta, if you could really assist us in, if you're looking to get healthy or you're looking to, have a lifestyle change, one that promotes healing and to assist your body. What does that look like?
Well, thanks for asking me. It's so humble to be on the podium of sort of a consultant, which personally I don't feel like one. I feel like you. I feel like on a journey. I am a student of learning this healthy lifestyle. It's like I have my own story. You have your own story. Your story is your adventure with multiple sclerosis. My story started with my mom battling deadly cancer that would put me on a journey of learning health. Why multiple sclerosis? What precipitated that multiple sclerosis, and what can we do changing that lifestyle? What is healthy lifestyle, right? So I think it's the abundance of different aspects. People are trying to find the very simple solution with one pill. In this society, why don't I take a pill and then everything is going to be great? I need to be in charge of my own health. That's what I'm finding. As a person, I am in charge. We never say I'm in charge of me. But we'll say, I need to be in charge of my body, sort of like separating the body from everything else. But what does it mean to be in charge of my body? You know, I am responsible for everything about my physicality. And that is why it's like, oh, I'm responsible for my physicality. Let me go to the doctor and get a pill. But then I'm not taking anything. And whatever per se doctor is telling me, I'm doing it, which is fine. Obviously, we as physicians, we know a thing or two. We went through school once or twice in some cases and spent half of the life in different type of schooling. But the thing is, everybody's disease is precipitated by that person and what happened. So I always analyze what happened. Why did the disease happen? What precipitated? Where did I grow up? How did I grow up? Did I grow up in deadly soil? Did I grow up in a farm that was absolutely contaminated with Monsanto or other chemicals inadvertently, and the wind blows? Now, what precipitated my happiness? So, and then how did I live? What did I eat? What can I change? How are my, number one, how are my bowels? Because now we're looking into as a gut and a leaky gut and the microgut deficiency as a culprit of the majority of chronic or autoimmune diseases. And that's where I start putting together everything. What do I change? What does it start with? What are the components that I'm going to change? But in those components, I cannot pick. You know what? I'm still going to live a miserable mind life, and I'm choosing to be frustrated and miserable. But you know what? I'm eating healthy and I'm eating organic and I'm eating plant-based food. Ain't going to work. And vice versa. Oh, you know, I'm so obliviously happy and I'm cheering and I'm smiling. Awesome. But you know what? I'm cheeriously happy going into Tim Hortons buying donuts. Again, it's not going to work because in my mind, that's what I am learning. That is my entire commitment to the multimodality of health, whether it's a mind, whether it's where I live, environmental, what's around me, what am I surrounded by, how am I taking my life, you know, is my happiness living me or anything else owns me? And then foods, and then exercise, and then meditation, and then the last part is supplementation and cellular upregulation. We always now, we are infatuated with supplementation. Everybody takes supplements. Everybody takes supplements. And indeed, we have a health and wellness company with cellular upregulators. But this is the fifth, the sixth, or the seventh part of the healthy lifestyle. And to me, it has to be that combination.
You betcha. And so if I was going to take a step into this journey and what you speak about, so taking that first step, how do I do that? What would you recommend from your research and studying to breaking that down into those 6 or 7 steps? And we could start with the first one today. And what could I do in my life to take a look at that to better that part of my life?
Well, obviously, to me, the easiest part is to take care of the foods. Okay. That is the easiest and number one. Not number one, actually, mind is number one. But mind may be actually the hardest part because that's where you're committing and breaking some comforts. I live in a comfort of my miserable cube, and I need to get out of there. But foods are easy because that's easy to change. And people like nutrient-dense foods is the easiest part of the healthy living. And people tell me I can't afford it. I can't afford organic. I don't accept it. You can't afford organic, don't afford organic. just to still afford nutrient-dense foods. You can't afford organic apples? Buy conventional apples. So wash them, rinse them, peel them. But there are no excuses of not eating them. Oh, I can't afford, let's say, organic kale or something like that. Don't afford it. Just buy stuff. However, there are some stipulations in my mind that has to be not certified organic, but at least farm raised and grass fed and locally, organically clean bread, this kind of things. Because that's something that needs to be put in the body in that nature intended way. Otherwise, the composition is different.
Okay, so you're talking about the bread right there, like.
Well, I'm talking. If I talk about the bread, I actually talk per se. I talk against bread. Being Russian, grew up on amazing breads. Of course, I love bread, but I also know what gluten does to us. I know the association of gluten with autoimmune diseases and the effect of gluten on the gut, on the microgut, because I actually think that number one, what we need to fix is we need to fix the gut and we need to fix the microgut. Because we need to fix the absorption and the digestion. And then we need to fix the microbiota or the microgut, because it is our microgut is our second brain, and our microgut is a huge part of our immune system. So it's hard to break, but if we start with foods and the concentration on gut and microgut, and the resources are tremendous. Per se, I'm responsible to get my knowledge and my foundation from reputable sources. I cannot just go on Google and Wikipedia and learn. No, I can't. As a physician, I can't. I have to go to do proper medical search, to go into medical journal and get my knowledge from reputable sources, whether I go in Medline or whether I go in PubMed or different medical sources.
Right.
But for lame people, you start with YouTube. You start with something that your brain can. Your brain fog brain can. So do something easy, anything. Just Google plant-based diet, leaky gut, probiotics, and that's it. This is the start. And this is a start of a beautiful vicious circle of health. Because you learn one stuff, then it leads you to another and to another. And that's how you accumulate the knowledge and the sources. So initially it starts with a simple blog, Nutrition 101. And then you want to know more. And then you want to know the ingredients. And you want to know the sources. And eventually it will start leading you to the reputable sources because you actually want to know the science.
Awesome. Well, thank you. Oh my gosh, so much wisdom and so many notes to start looking and places to start. So thank you so much.
Thank you, Amanda. This is amazing stuff. And again, I love us connecting on Friday. Every Friday we're connecting and we're talking health in one way or the other.
Yeah, and next Friday, I would love to hear the next step, getting a little bit more in depth with what's the next step. Even though it's more complicated, it's still when you've researched it and you're more aware of the foods that you're fueling your body with. I think of it a lot for myself. Like if you drove a gas powered vehicle, you're not going to put like diesel in it.
Exactly. Amen to that. Why don't you put diesel in a gas car and vice versa? Well, the same thing with foods. But the thing is, we're approaching weekend. So guys, honor your body, honor your health, love yourself, distress yourself. That's it. Just do you. This is a weekend. So pay attention to you, honor you, love you. And that is an enormous part of health.
Awesome. So next week we get to hear about another, and I know you refer to them sometimes as pillars of health, and really we get to dive into another one. So if you're excited and you're like, love what you're learning, and these tips from Dr. Silverman are helping you, then please join us again next Friday as we dive into another one of her pillars of health. And if you have any questions, post them in the comments below so that we can look at them and she can answer them for you, and we can assist you in whatever way that we can possible. That would be lovely. Well, you guys have a great night. Have an amazing weekend. And thank you so much, Dr. Sveta Silverman, for your knowledge and research and the stuff that you've looked into beyond the medical practice that you do.
Thank you so much. But the thing is, I consider myself a student. I never the per se a huge resource or something. No. I always look up to my mentors and books and authors and warriors, everybody. Never a message, always a messenger. You know what I'm saying?
And I'm never grateful you're in my life.
Thank you. You too. Love you.
All right. Bye, everybody.
Happy weekend.
Have an incredible weekend. So much love to all of you. Thank you so much. Talk to you soon. Ciao.